Oh, my glasses. Forgot those. There we go. So I just got done filming my testimony. So this is another topic that I wanted to talk about. Let me just get comfortable. There we go. What is this topic again? Oh. Don't try to understand something beyond your own understanding, And that's a really deep question that every person needs to ask themselves. Don't try to understand something beyond your understanding. Don't try to fit something that nobody can comprehend, into, this is you. This is the information right here. It's so big that you can't even see it, Like, you can't even see it. So don't try to fit something so big into something so small. Don't try to understand something that is beyond our human understanding. Let me give you an example. Humans can grasp the concept, not the idea, the concept of infinity, right? We can grasp the fact that there could be an infinite number of universes in an infinitely expanding galaxy. And I mean, infinitely expanding galaxy, like the whole point of infinity is something that humans understand, but not fully. We understand the concept of it, not its true identity. If we were able to fully understand infinity, it would literally explode our minds, Do you know, not sure if you know this, but if you know like the anime JJK, and if you know one of the main characters named Gojo and his domain expansion, let me just explain that quickly. So in the anime, there's this character named Gojo. Gojo has his ability is infinity, right? Master of infinity. And then he also has this ability to understand the type of energy in this anime at an atomic level. That's what makes him one of the strongest, So the whole point of it, and a domain expansion is like the pinnacle of a character's technique. Cursed energy. If you go back and rewatch, you understand after you've heard this part. So a domain expansion is like an expansion of one's ability. For example, you have a speaker and you have the sound it has. The speaker you can adjust the settings. Like you see my speaker over there. Let me point it nicely. My speaker over there, that big speaker. You can adjust the volume. You can, it has lights. You can change the lights. You can change the settings from Bluetooth to wire to so on and so forth. That's its abilities. But then you get the actual sound itself. And if you can see if you do the math, my hand is actually quite small compared to this. So it's a very big speaker. It makes a lot of noise at max volume. That's basically what a domain technique is, right? It's an expansion of one's ability. So this is going way off topic, but Gojo's thingy, his domain expansion is infinity. You're flooded with constant information, infinite amounts of information, yet you're being deprived of infinite amount of information. It's like, maybe I'm describing that wrong, but the main takeaway from that is his domain floods your brain with infinite amounts of knowledge, science and biology and history and geography and everything. Think about everything you know. Think about everything you know. And then think about everything you don't. And then just try to fit it in your brain. You will literally explode. And that's why we shouldn't, that's why humans have limitations, you know. Don't try to understand something beyond understanding. Don't try to explain something that is way outside explanation. So what this mainly is talking about is like God himself. Don't try to explain an infinite being with with what we have. Right here is what we have, and God is infinite. Everything above here and below here and around here, that's basically God, like the everything, you know. So God is way above our complexity. He's way above our understanding. We cannot fully understand God, not the things he does, not the things he says. Well, maybe the things he said, because we have his word. If you can see my Bible over there on my table, I was reading before I made this video. But we shouldn't try to understand the way too complex. There's a question, there was a lingering question back in primary. One day, just one day, for one day. And someone asked, do you guys know where God came from? And everyone was like, no, we don't know. Like, man, what? Where's God coming from? Whoa. And remember, we were primary kids, so this was a very typical question for us. But looking back now, we will never truly have the answer to that question, because God is an infinite being. And once you add infinite into anything, it immediately goes above our understanding. For example, an infinite paradox. If you've ever heard of an infinite paradox, then you probably know what I'm talking about. Let me give an example of an infinite paradox, a popular one that you might know. There is a grandson, right, who built a time machine. Messing with infinity, because time is infinite. Right? Messing with infinity. The moment you add infinity into there, or time into there, or manipulation, or some type of manipulation into there, it immediately becomes beyond our understanding. That's why we cannot time travel. But off topic. The grandson built a time machine, goes back in time, kills his grandfather. Now, that doesn't make sense, because it's beyond our understanding. If he kills his grandfather, how could he have been born? But if he is not born, how does he kill his grandfather? It's an infinite loop. You're just going in circles and 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 circles. So, but it's beyond understanding. You can't try to fully explain that infinite paradox. How can you explain God? How can you explain his plans? The things he sees, the things he knows, the things he does, the purposes of the things he does. God is an infinitely complex being, and he's made it easy enough for us to understand. But don't get confused. There's another question that people have asked, right? How did Adam and Eve have so many kids, and how did go from Adam and Eve to all these people to many people, you know? Now, there's a lot of theories that could explain that, but I just don't care. It's beyond my understanding of how they did that, because it was at a time where I don't know, and it isn't explained there, obviously. So it is beyond my understanding of how how it went from Adam and Eve to the amount of people that were in Abraham's time. So don't try to understand. So if you're struggling with understanding something, you know, like, oh God, why did you do this? Why did you do that? Or something else. If God doesn't give you a direct answer, then don't try to understand something beyond your understanding. If we knew everything, like if we knew if we knew true infinity, right, we would basically become God. And that's not possible because God already exists, number one. Number two, it's not even possible because how could it fit in our human minds? We cannot know everything. And that's why I say to people who try to know everything or try to get the answers to questions in the Bible that have not been answered, or some others have a question. You can't try to understand something that is beyond understanding, you know? So when they ask like, oh, why is this like this? You know, have you seen those debates on YouTube or TikTok where it's like a guy and a guy, or a guy and a girl, a guy, or a girl, so on and so forth, where they just, why is this like this? Right? And we will do our best to try and explain it, but to some extent, we shouldn't try to understand something beyond our understanding. I think I've said that about 11 times so far. I'm not sure. That's just a metaphor for how many times I've said we shouldn't try to understand things beyond our understanding. So yeah, if you're struggling with something like that, I suggest you just bring it to God and remember this video. Don't try to understand don't try to understand something beyond your understanding. If you know what you know, and if you can learn what you can learn, then great. But if you cannot learn what is unlearnable, then don't even try. Don't even be like, well, this is the whole reason I'm gonna ditch my faith, or this is the whole reason I don't believe in God, or yada 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 yada. So I hope nothing I said in this video is bad. I'll try to go over it. But if you do see anything in this video that doesn't make sense or line up, or I just blatantly said was wrong, please do tell. The whole point of this is to learn and to explain and to educate. And I hope that whatever I'm educating isn't of thingy. I hope whatever I'm educating on isn't false. Because the whole point is to bring people to his kingdom. So yeah, I think that's it. If you enjoyed this video, do whatever you need to do whatever you want to do. And if you learn something, please apply it. If you're thinking about something like, well, why does this happen? You're gonna get your answers, maybe. If the question's answered, if it's already been answered, it's probably on YouTube, so you can just search it up like, what's the answer to this, and then you find the answer. Just keep scrolling, watching videos, and so on and so forth. But if there is no definitive answer, then don't even try, because it is your mind, and above this here, see, there's your mind here, and then there's the limit to the border of this video, right? And then there's everything above the border. Like, you can't even see my hand. You can't even see what shape I'm making in my hand right now. But anyways, this is above here, and you can only do so much. Is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, you can only do so much, you know. So that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.